So you've registered your toll-free number or your A2P number, and for some reason it's come back failed or rejected. And now you're wondering why. In this article here, I'm actually going to walk step by step through the most common reasons and how to overcome them, because more than likely it is one of these. So as a reminder, what is A2P? So A2P, or toll-free number registration, is now every single number that sends messages from application to person, which is what short for A2P means, from application to person, or high level to people, individual people, needs to be registered. And so this is because of compliance and issues with spammers or scammers or other things. And so because of that, all of us need to abide by these rules. As such, these are actually governed by back-end providers and carriers that need to review this and then approve every single one of these. And so this isn't necessarily high level. High level is not actually reviewing these. We're simply helping you navigate a very complex ground here. And hopefully this video will do just that. So on here, let's go through the common rejection reasons here, which is opt-in failed, which means you don't have a form or terms and conditions or something. Forbidden use case, which means like, the industry or the campaign that you're doing, you're not allowed to do it for that. So for example, if you're doing some kind of drug like cannabis, not allowed in the US. That may have changed from since I've watched this. You can check the documentation here. I'll show you. But you know, these are not allowed because, and if they're related to that, they'll get a rejection for that. Not updating examples provided. So we actually provide you examples in app. You can see those right here. So now I go to examples. Oftentimes, many people forget to update their business name or the email or the phone number to match their campaign or use case. So be sure you're doing that, and we'll walk through that in a moment. Inaccurate information is important. So on your CP 575, when you go to submit that and everything, let's say you have an EIN, it needs to match that exactly when you're doing that. And so there are some other things with inaccurate company information that we'll review as well. And then broken or inactive links. You have to have a live site, a live form, a live terms and conditions, and a live privacy policy. It's required through this process, and we'll walk through what those are right now and how to do those as well. So just so you know, there are additional helpful tips here at the bottom of this article here. This article goes through kind of more details, more common ones, but this will help you as well in navigating these. For example, the most common we'll go through is opt-in information has failed, which you've probably seen this error if that happens with message flow. Use case description. So again, the website, the link doesn't work. Here, information was provided was not correct. Here, there was an unknown reason, so just reach out to us. And we will go through more of these right now. And so these are the most common ones. Let's now hop into how to fix each one of those. So the opt-in information provided is an important but complex one. Most people don't realize you need your own live site, and that live site needs to have terms and conditions and a privacy policy live on the site. If it does not, it will actually fail. It's really important that it needs to be there. For example, here we can see that High Level has theirs at the bottom of their website. So when we go to submit our A2P verification, it was all good because we have a live website, and that live website has that. Now, on this website also hosts an opt-in form where people can learn more and get to know us. And so here on that opt-in form, we actually will ask what is the name, phone number, and email, but we also indicate some other things, and that's important as well. So on this form, which needs to be on this website you provide as well, rather it's like a scheduling link or for a blog, blah, 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 all these things. Be sure you have this when you're submitting your campaign because they are going to be reviewing this. It's required. And so here we're going to offer the first checkbox here, which is terms and conditions and privacy is there, and then some other verbiage here about how they can opt out, as well as that they're going to receive a message from you. And then a second one actually reviews that if they want to receive additional information for you. Let's walk through both of those right now. So you need a form there, which is important, and a live website. You also need a promotional checkbox. And so on this promotional checkbox here, And so on this form, you need to make sure that you have this first checkbox here, and we provided an example here as well, where it clearly links to the terms of service and the privacy policy. A short note here, you can actually this is the most compliant way, so I would do this. There are other ways to submit the form, like let's say you do terms and conditions and privacy policy down here. There are a couple ways to cut this cake, but I recommend this version. And so let's focus on this version here. So I would set this here. Hey, and again, these are working links that go to live sites. And then by providing my phone number, I agree to receive text messages from High Level. You need to make sure that you change your business name here. And then I understand I can opt out at any time by responding stop. And so that shows them terms of services or terms and conditions, whichever, they're the same name. Privacy policy, it says you're going to message them, and it says how to opt out and that they can opt out, all required for compliance. Next part is if you want to send them, this part is completely optional. And by the way, the checkbox needs to be optional. You cannot make this checkbox required on your form. Don't do that. You will get rejected for this reason. And so, but here, what you can do is you need to add like, hey, I want to receive news, feature updates, discounts, and offers from High Level. That's because when they're signing up, they're actually signing up for the service or the booked appointment or the blog that they're subscribing to or the free PDF that you're giving them or the paid service that you're giving them. That doesn't necessarily mean that they want to receive news, feature updates, discounts, or other offers from you. And so including this is compliant and required during the process. And so they've kind of started cracking down on this, which makes sense, right? So if somebody wants something that you're giving them, they just want that from you. That doesn't necessarily mean they want all the other updates. So they need to opt out into those and then be sure that you're only sending emails and stuff and SMS to those. Like if you're running a promotion outside of what they opted into, they need to do that as well. So that's really important as well. And then we got an example message there. So that is basically the full opt-in process, which is the most common reason why people do it. So again, I need a website that isn't broken that works. I need a site footer, and on that site footer, I need to have a privacy and a terms and conditions or terms of service linked that work. They work there. I need the terms of services and privacy policy on the form that needs to be on the site, where people can opt in to receive messages from me. On that place, it needs to have two checkboxes. One is optional, the one is mandatory. The mandatory one is they need to agree to the terms of services and privacy policy provided, and you need to link and provide both of those. And you need to make sure that you're providing that say, hey, because you provided we're gonna message you, to fulfill a service or to schedule the appointment or to deliver the PDF or to remind you about your appointment. And so in compliance with what they've done, and then how to opt out. They can respond stop at any time, and that they understand they can opt out at any time. So that's important. Replace your name, hyperlink your terms and conditions. It's really important. And then again, an optional checkbox if you want to send them any promotions and stuff in the future when they opt in. This checkbox is required as well. By the way, not only is this required and a good idea, this will also reduce the amount of unsubscribes, which causes places to get shut down, sub accounts if you have a large opt out rate. So it's just a good practice to ask, like, does somebody really want to receive these other marketing or promotional things from you? Let's keep going. These want to be much faster. Learn about so there are forbidden use cases. For example, if you're in the US and you're a cannabis company, you can't do cannabis in the US. It's just not allowed. And so you can see here, cannabis, United States, illegal substances. And so depending on the use case and stuff, you could get failed based on if your business relates or does marketing or messaging based on these use cases, not allowed. So check out each one of those is right there. Updating the examples provided. We're going to walk through that in just a moment when I do a sample submission. Inaccurate information. You can learn here more about what a CP575 is if you don't know what that is. And authorized representative. So when you are submitting this, make sure that when you're doing an authorized representative, that this is an actual personal phone number. If it is a Google Voice or another provider and not like your personal or like an actual cell phone number, it will likely fail because it's required that it is an actual cell phone number here for the authorized representative. So that's another reason why things get or you can't get it authorized or something like that. Lastly, again, broken inactive links. Test your links, make sure they work. Don't do any typos on those. All right, that is basically it. Let's go through some commonly asked questions or frequently asked questions. Where can I get my own privacy policy or terms and conditions? So, a lot of people, so at high level, we 100% believe in not providing any legal advice. It's just not good. You're in charge of your business. And not only that, we highly, highly, highly recommend that you consult your own lawyer. It's the only way to stay compliant and to make sure that you're compliant with laws. There's a bunch of them. It's insane how many laws and stuff there are. Not our job to do that. That is on you as the business owner. However, in typical high level fashion, I do want to share what other customers have done. They have checked out other templates or other services to help them navigate this, such as Termly, Rocket Lawyer, and TermsFeed are common ones, but there are other ones. In addition, we've had also some people literally just type into ChatGPT, hey, I need a terms and conditions for this type of business in these kind of states who services these types of clients, and it's actually produced those, and they've used that as a starting point. Again, we highly recommend that you take that to a lawyer. You just pay the money and ensure that you're compliant there. It is the only way to stay compliant is if you get a lawyer, a template, or these other terms, or these other places that other customers have tried that I just mentioned are not the fully recommended way. So always consult a lawyer. However, depending on your use case, we hope this helps you. How to use the terms and conditions form elements. You can actually create the form and everything in forms. We actually make it really easy to add the form. You just go into your forms and add it, and then terms and conditions. It will actually add it for you there. You just need to update your business name as well as your terms and conditions and stuff there. How to do a checkbox opt-in form. So when you need to do that second checkbox for the promotions and everything I shared, you can actually create your own checkbox by going into custom fields when you're adding it. So here on this image here, we saw that this was a quick action. When I go to the plus sign to add something, click and drag it over. But when I go to the next tab over here, which is right here, custom fields, I can then add a custom field called a checkbox and then create a checkbox that says, I want to receive these types of updates or other ones. So you can use both of those there. And then this explains what a CP575 is. Let's now and go through a quick registration. So let's go ahead and start now. Navigate this. I am an entity registering, and I'm located in the U.S. And or Canada. And so you can select yes or no for that. I'm going to register as if I have a tax ID. If you don't, you can do that too. It's called a sole prop, and I'm doing an A2P registration, not a toll free here. And then I'm going to continue here. Here, again, if I have an EIN, I need to make sure that I'm adding my comma LLC, and I cannot use any doing business as. I need to use my actual legal name as it shows on my CP575. I need to make sure this matches exactly as well. I need to make sure that this business email and this URL works and is live as well. I'm going to continue here. I need to make sure that this matches as well. So the address on the CP575 needs to match. Be sure, again, this matches like on your website and other things as you're submitting. And this again needs to be a valid cell phone. It cannot be a Google Voice number or like a Ring Central number, I think is the same. It won't work as well. It can't be like, one of those phone numbers. It needs to be your I recommend your personal cell phone as the authorized representative or somebody else's personal cell phone. It's important and required. Here, I'm going to go ahead and do high volume because I'm going to do a lot of them. And then I'm going to set this one here. This is a great example when I'm using the examples here. I'm going to copy this and paste it here. I need to make sure that I change any information that would be mine. And I don't need to for this example. So I'm going to keep going. I need to do the opt-in message. I'm going to say it's this right here for the appointment. Again, this needs to say Jarvis. And then this needs to say high level or whatever other business that I'm doing. So ensure that you are adding that. That's really important. This also needs to be your phone number. So be sure that you do your actual business phone number that you added when you're submitting things. That's really important. This needs to be here. Do not delete this. Next, we're going to keep going here. Let's say this one right here. This is a great example. This needs to work. So wherever they're going to reschedule, or if you do it, if I type this in and paste this, it needs to work. So make sure that that works. I'm going to replace this here. This needs to be my actual company name. This needs to be Jarvis because my name is Jarvis and my name is not Jane, and that is fine. Keep this here. Some people forget to keep that there. Keep that there. Checkbox these if these do it. Go ahead and do that now, because if you do that later, it will not a good idea, because if you're found breaking these rules later on, you'll get flagged and filtered. Here again, make sure I'm updating to my business name, my business phone number, and all those things, and then boom, I will end up submitting. So if you follow all of these, you should be able to get quickly approved and then back in action and get that passed. We really hope this helps you, and good luck out there as you continue growing your business and leveling up. Thank you.